With a new regime and a new brand, Maryland women's soccer seems to have turned a corner under first-year head coach Megan Ryan Nemser. The Terps are now in the thick of Big Ten play, and we'll break down the whole team down coming up on the Left Bench in Focus.
My dreams came true when I became a Terp.
Hello and welcome to the Left Bench in Focus, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. I'm Nathan Schwartz.
And I'm Jonas. In case you forgot, this is the show where we go in depth on one Maryland athletics program. And today it's all about Maryland women's soccer.
And it's a very exciting time for the program, Jonas. And Friday was one of its most exciting wins in recent memory.
It absolutely was. Maryland women's soccer opened up its Big Ten slate Friday night against the Michigan Wolverines at Ludwig Field, and the Terps were able to hold on, beating Michigan 1-0 and clinching their first Big Ten win since 2019. Maryland started bright with a deflected cross finding the feet of Catherine DeRosa, but her shot was parried away. Michigan came close in the first half when a cross rang off the post, but Terps were able to clear without any damage being done. Turning to the second half, the Terps grew into a game more and pressured the back line of Michigan. Alina Stahl tested Michigan goalkeeper Izzy Nino early in the second half, but her effort was calmly saved by Nino. Michigan came into Friday night with the second highest scoring offense in the Big Ten, but the Maryland backline held the Wolverine attack in check, only conceding 5 shots on goal and keeping a clean sheet. The onslaught for the Terps continued, and their persistence finally paid off. With 20 minutes to play, a Juliana Lynch cross found the head of Michaela Days, and her looping header found a way past Nino to give the Terps the lead. Here's Megan Ryan Nemser after her first Big Ten win as a head coach.
I mean, I'm proud of them, and it started in preseason. It just didn't start this week, and we spoke about the details and the habits to be a champion, one game at a time. And I thought this week we spent a lot of time in the final third as far as keeping possession, and I think that showed tonight. I thought that we were Big Ten ready defensively going in, and then we needed to clean up some things attacking-wise, but I thought it was a well-executed game plan that they put together. But all the credit to the players and all the players.
And Jonas, these type of wins that you can get in your first season as head coach of a program can really build a foundation for the future.
First-year head coach, it's all about setting the culture, and a win like this is just so defining. First Big Ten win since 2019. How huge is that for her?
It's absolutely massive, and it can only go up from here, right? You can keep on building from this win against Michigan. They got a lot of big opponents coming up, so it's going to be fun to see.
Absolutely.
And now it's no secret that Maryland has had their struggles so far this season offensively. But on Friday against Michigan, the Terps' attack created more opportunities inside of the box, leading to that crucial goal by Michaela Days. Our Matthew Noose has more.
With the introduction of head coach Megan Ryan Nemser to the Maryland women's soccer program prior to the season, a plethora of new Terps made their way to College Park. Of the 9 incoming freshmen and 10 transfers, the key to success for the Terps would be their play in front of goal. Coming off a season where the Terps finished last in goals scored in the Big Ten, just 19 goals in 18 games, Nemser prioritized bringing in goal scorers to help the program.
The Terps have created loads of scoring chances in the final third over the past few outings, including 12 against St. Joseph's and 5 against Wake Forest, but had no goals to show for in either of those 2 games. Friday night against Michigan, that changed.
The Maryland offense came alive against the Wolverines, creating high-quality scoring chances against a solid Michigan back line. Throughout the 90 minutes, the Terps put constant pressure on the Wolverines, out-shooting Michigan 10-9 on the night, including a 7-5 advantage in the second half.
But I give, once again, all the credit to the players, because I challenged them this week of the details and the habits in the final third. And at moments, it wasn't perfect, but they stayed with it. So once again, we talk about just continuing to do the details to be better, and they did it tonight.
The key to breaking down the Wolverine defense? Dangerous balls into the box. Constantly, the Terps would screening crosses that would put pressure on the back line. Finally, in the 70th minute, those dangerous crosses would cause the breakthrough. Michaela Days headed home a Juliana Lynch cross, providing the difference in a signature victory for the Terps.
Jules is a great player. She plays great ball, so I saw she had the ball and I saw opening and I just went for it.
the Terps will hope to take this goal-scoring momentum deep into Big Ten play this season. For Terrapin Sports Central, I'm Matthew News.
Maryland's growth offensively is coming at the perfect time in the season as Big Ten play is just getting started.
Maryland heads into their final match of their 6-game homestand this Thursday as they welcome in Illinois, who boasts a 5-3-1 record.
For Maryland, Kendra Pasquale and Sarah Foley are the two players for Illinois they are going to have to key in on defensively. Pasquale leads Illinois with 3 goals and Foley has 2 goals to her name as well. But Illinois has a tough task ahead of them too, as the Terps defense has been absolutely phenomenal so far this season. Goalkeeper Madeline Smith has back-to-back shutouts, and Maryland hasn't given up more than 1 goal in their first 8 games.
On paper, this should be a thrilling game to watch, and our Matthew News will have the sideline coverage from Ludwig Field on Thursday night.
We're lucky to be joined by Alyssa Porch, Olivia Hicks, and Catherine DeRosa. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us on.
And let's just talk about the start of the season for you guys defensively. You've been one of the best teams in the nation so far from that point of view, only giving up 5 goals to the first 8 matches. Can you guys just expand upon what it's been like from the defensive perspective so far through the first 8 games?
Yeah, defense has definitely been something that we've been focusing on since preseason. We wanted to build that foundation for it first so that we're better prepared headed into Big Ten.
Yeah, I also think Meg has instilled in us that defense wins championships, and it doesn't just start with the defenders, that it starts with our front line. So I think we've done a good job in presenting it from the forwards to the midfielders, and then the defenders doing the last job when it comes to them.
Yeah, so speaking of Coach Nemser, that's been a big change from last year. How do you think her coaching style has helped this team? What has she added as a new head coach?
She definitely adds like a professional environment. I think that is extremely important for the older players and the players that want to continue soccer after college. And I think that makes us better organized as a team, and also like pretty exciting for the players that do want to play pro, just so that they're better prepared headed into it.
I think she's really set a standard within our program. Maybe in the past we haven't had as high expectations, and Meg wants to raise those standards and have extremely high goals and obviously achieve all of those.
And you guys are coming off one of the biggest wins in recent memory with that win over Michigan the other night. Can you just expand on what that feeling was like, getting the first ever win against the Wolverines in program history?
Yeah, it was definitely a great feeling. I don't think anyone in the Big Ten ever expected us to beat the reigning Big Ten champ, so it definitely gives us a lot of confidence heading into this weekend, especially against Illinois and Rutgers, and then headed into the rest of the season.
Yeah, we were extremely prepared going into Michigan, so for us it wasn't a surprise that we beat them. The expectations outside of our circle is very low for us, but that's what excites us because we believe in each other, we believe in the coaching staff, and a win against Michigan is great, but we want more as a program, and that's the mentality going into this weekend.
Yeah, and speaking of wanting more, now you have Illinois on Thursday. What's the mindset? What's the game plan? You want to come off a win with another one. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, I think because we have the confidence, now we're just going to go out there with more and more. Just because like we have those expectations already, and we know that we can, if we won against Michigan, we can win against any team in Big Ten.
I think it's the same preparation. Whatever the next game is the most important game. So we'll take care of Illinois, and then after Illinois, we'll take care of Rutgers.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys, and good luck on the rest of your season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll look back on the Terps 2021 season and the hiring of new head coach Megan Ryan Nemser.
And later, Alexa Wooten will be in studio to talk about the Terps' recent history in Big Ten play. Stay tuned.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Left Bench in Focus, presented by Terrapin Sports Central. And it would be an understatement to say that Maryland women's soccer has gained a new sense of life as a program. But let's take a trip down memory lane and talk about how Maryland got to where they are today.
Yeah, Nate, last year was not the best season for the Terps. Maryland opened their 2021 season with a string of great performances, as the Terps won 4 of their first 5 matches. However, those would end up being the only matches the Terps won all season. In Big Ten play, the Terps were outscored 21-7. Maryland went into double overtime in draws with Nebraska, Northwestern, and Indiana, but a Big Ten win was just not in the cards for the Terps. Their season ended with a 2-1 defeat against Michigan in Ann Arbor, as the Terps finished the season 4-9-5.
Following a second straight losing season and 5 losing seasons in a 6-season span, Ray Leon's contract was not renewed, ending his tenure as Maryland's head coach. Leon left the program after recording a 27, 60, and 18 record over 6 seasons, with only 1 trip to the Big Ten tournament in that time. Nearly 2 months later, following a national search, Megan Ryan Nemser was named the new head coach, catapulting Maryland women's soccer into a new era. Nemser has spent the past 14 seasons on the coaching staff at Rutgers, and the Maryland native couldn't have been more thrilled to return home to be the head coach at Maryland.
When you guys called, I said it was going to take something special for me to leave. And what you guys here, what you have here at Maryland is something special. You guys are a sleeping giant. The amount of talent that you have in Maryland, in Virginia, D.C., New Jersey, Pennsylvania, it's unbelievable. And for me, I want to get that recruiting pipeline back to Maryland.
Maryland's recent seasons have been spoiled by their play in the Big Ten. As we've discussed, Friday's win over Michigan was the Terps' first conference win since 2019. Our very own Alexa Wooten is here to break down the program's recent history in conference play. Alexa?
Yeah, I mean, this win was huge for Maryland, especially because of how long it took them to get here. It has been 1,058 days since Maryland women's soccer had defeated a Big Ten opponent, but the Terps ended their drought Friday night when they had a historic defeat over Michigan, 1-0. Not only was this the Terps' first conference win in over 2 seasons, but it was the program's first ever win over Michigan. Maryland went 9-8-3 that year, its first winning season since 2010. The Terps finished 6th in the conference, earning a spot in the Big Ten tournament for the first time. What seemed to be a growing and improving program quickly fell, though. Coming off a historic season for the program, the Terps had a losing season in the spring of 2021, finishing 0-10-2. That was followed by another losing season in the fall of 21, when the Terps finished 4-9-5. In December, the new era of Maryland women's soccer was born, with Megan Ryan Nemser being named the new head coach. So, how did Nemser do it? How did she take a team coming off of 2 losing seasons and lead them to win in her first Big Ten game as a head coach? She came in with the right game plan. Along with a whole new coaching staff, Nemser brought in 10 transfers and 9 freshmen to College Park. Coming into the season, Nemser stressed the unit over the individual and having strength on both ends of the field. The team actually came together and looked at successful teams and came up with a word that sums up why they succeed. The word they selected was fight. That was a huge backdrop to their win over the Wolverines. Now, let's talk Nemser's game plan going into last Friday. Nemser's squad was facing off against the team who had scored the 3rd most goals nationally in their last 7 games. So going in, she knew her team's defense needed to be on their game, and they were just that. Despite falling back on their lines against Wake Forest, the Terps adjusted and smothered the Wolverines, only allowing for 9 shots, their 2nd lowest of the season. Guys, it's clear that there's a culture change in the women's soccer program right now, and time will tell if this will continue and lead to more wins.
Yeah, as a new head coach, expectations are for wins, but a win this early in the Big Ten against a team like Michigan, that's extremely impressive. Thanks so much, Alexa.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Left Bench in Focus. TLB will be back next week to break down Maryland football's trip to Michigan and a whole lot more.
Stay tuned for the next In Focus episode on October 4th when we go all in on the Maryland men's soccer team. In the meantime, be sure to keep up with all of Terrapin Sports Central's coverage on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and at terrapinsportscentral.com.
We'll see you next time.